What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, it's going to be a little bit of a series, like top 5 or 5 things I want to see and stuff like that. So let's get straight into it. Before you jump straight into it, of course, follow me on all my social media accounts, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. They're all Swoop Luke. If you are a new super, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you are a returning super, welcome back. Thank you so much for rejoining me. Now let's get into 5 players who I think will take their game to the next level in 2022. So with all the coaching changes and the personnel changes, and there's been a clean out, for lack of a better term, at the club. Bunch of new kids coming through, bunch of kids from last year and stuff like that. There's a lot of players who I think will take their game to the next level, especially with a new way of thinking via the coaching staff and Leppich in the defense, Bolts, and of course Fly McRae as their head coach. But I've tried to narrow it down to just 5 guys who I think will take their game to the next level. Let's start with number 1, Finn McRae. So there was a lot of talk last year when we drafted Finn McRae. He went a little bit lower than everyone was thinking. Obviously the brother of Jack McRae as well. He played 9 games. He averaged 12 disposals. So look, not a huge number for 9 games, but he did have a couple of good games. Of course, first year player, so you don't expect them to be able to take over the world in a handful of games. But Finn is a part of our next generation midfield and someone who I think can go to the next level. We've all seen those photos traveling around social media. I posted about him on my Instagram page, Swoop Luke. The photo from June 2021 to a couple of weeks ago in preseason training. Just looks like he's put on a bunch of muscle. Even Nick Maxwell came out a couple of days ago. He was on SEN, Gerard Whateley's show, and he said that Finn and even Reef McInnes are the players that, or 2 of the players that will take, more midfield minutes. Pendlebury gets pushed out a little bit because, they're playing him on the half-back line and he's getting it as an older servant. They're the next generation midfielders that I mentioned earlier. So I think Finn is going to be a staple in that midfield. He's probably going to play plus 16 games, I think. And he's one that I know will take his game to the next level this season. So the second guy who I think will take their game to another level this season is going to be Will Kelly. Now, Will Kelly's a bit of an anomaly because he's been at the club for a couple of years. He was tried as a defender. He wants to play as a forward according to some interviews and stuff. Does he play as a forward? Does he play as a defender? We'll see in a couple of preseason games and early on in the season. But another anomaly is because he's been at the club a couple of seasons, he has been injury riddled, broken collarbone, that elbow that he broke, a couple of, I think, leg issues, correct me if I'm wrong. But he has been injury plagued, injury cursed. He's only played 3 games. So, look, he could be in another video that I'm making, which would be 5 players I'm excited to see. But I think he's going to take his game to the next level because I feel like he might have his body right. This is just going off preseason footage that everyone's seen and a couple of photos and people I'm talking to. Will Kelly looks to have his body right. He looks like he's put on a lot more muscle. Everyone in the team looks like they've been hitting the gym a lot more. I think, look, I'd love for him to play in the forward line. I've got just a gut feeling that he will be in the defense, and if Justin Leppich can turn him into an immense defender, him and Darcy Moore in the back line would be amazing because Kelly, he grew up playing as a defender. He's got great aerial attributes. He's got great skills from what we can see and what we see at training and stuff like that. I just think that this is the year where he breaks out. Not like all-Australian defender, or he's gonna, if he's playing in the forward line, gonna kick 30 goals. But I think this is the year he breaks out. He's at least going to play over a dozen games and really cement his spot in the side. The third guy that I've got here should be familiar to everyone. Why I think he's in this list is Brodie Grundy. Grundy, he probably would even say that he's had a down couple of years. He hasn't hit that 2018, 2019 form. The hub probably came into it last year. It's just Grundy. I still think Grundy is one of, if not the best ruckman in the competition. It's not that just he's a ruckman, he's a tall midfielder as well. He gets those tackles, he gets those clearances, and of course he gets all those hit-outs. Last year he averaged about 32 hit-outs a game. In his 2018-2019 era, like I'm saying it like it was so long ago, he was averaging about 38 to 42 hit-outs per game. So that's where he needs to be. Look, and that's one thing to get hit-outs, and Buckley said this earlier on this year. You can have 70 hit-outs. They don't really look at that stat. It's where he places it. That is the one thing Grundy needs to get better at, and the midfielders need to get better at reading. I feel like why Grundy's in this list for is that he can take his his game to the next step and the next level if the midfielders can read his taps. How many times have opposition rovers and stuff just sharked Grundy's taps and then we lose out? Or like the GWS preliminary final where he got 70 or so hit-outs and not all of them, went to advantage, and that should be something that happens. But hopefully with Brendan Bolton, a ruck coach as well, we can see the fruits of the labour, and we can see Grundy get that All-Australian jacket again, because I think, like I said, he's probably the best ruckman in the competition. The fourth guy I've got here as taking their game to the next level is Brayden Maynard. We've all seen those preseason videos of him just smashing in the gym with Howie. There's been talks that he wants to play a midfield role. I think he's even come out and said that he wants to play in the midfield as well. So that would just... He is a great defender. He's a great one-on-one defender. Fifth in the best and fairest, Collingwood best and fairest last season. We know he's a good defender. We know he can run off that half back. He's a bit of a general down back. He's a bull. We love that. But if he can add a midfielder to his utility belt, that would be huge. Like I said, big body guy, goes in and under. Him and Taylor Adams could just be the wrecking crew, the Collingwood wrecking crew, just absolutely bulking their way through the midfield. It leaves Isaac Quaynor, maybe John Noble off that half-back, Caleb Poulter if he goes down a little bit, but even Scott Pendlebury can move to that half-back line, and Brayden Maynard can come up if we need a big-bodied, someone to just stamp their authority in the midfield. I think that Maynard in the midfield just makes a lot of sense. But in saying that, I want to see his game kind of like DeGoey, kind of like Elliott. Maybe a 70-30 split. I don't want to see something like what they did with Darcy Moore, where they left him in the forward line for 3 quarters and then they chucked him down back when the game was already lost. I think it was against West Coast, but we really needed him there earlier. That doesn't work. 70-30 split, back line, midfield. Would love that. So the final guy I've got here of who I think will take the game to the next level, it's a bit... not controversial. Oh, the player, I guess, is controversial. It is Callum Brown. There's a lot of talk on social media. You either love the way he goes about it, like the way he goes about it, or absolutely hate the way he goes about it, and you wonder why he gets games. And look, Callum Brown, he could be anything. Now he's been at the club since 2017. Same with Josh Dacos. Now think of Dacos a couple years ago where he was just in this purgatory of, is he going to make it? Is he just there because of the Dacos name? But then he has that breakout season, and he just turns his whole game around, and obviously he's one of the first picks on the team sheets now. So I think Callum Brown needs to have that season. By all accounts, he is looking really good on the training track. Lots of people have been heaping praise on him. Late last season, there's that one Richmond game that springs to my mind where we just played him in the midfield. He was that outside sort of midfielder. He oozed a little bit of class as well, which I liked. Last year he only averaged 12 disposals, so he needs to up his clearance game as well, because he'll be that outside midfielder, kind of like what Adam Treloar was, the outside running midfielder. We know Callum Brown can do it. It's just like me in high school. My teachers knew I could do it. I just didn't apply myself. And I think that's where Callum Brown lies. In that sort of footballing purgatory, he needs to earn his place in the best 22. I think he can be there after a couple of games. We need to see what Craig can do with him, what Fly can do with him. Play him in the midfield, outside mid, so he's not, obviously going in and under. Just that class. He could be like, look, I just think he has the skills and he has everything there. And 2019, he won his dad's Gavin Brown award, just the way he went about it, 1%ers and stuff like that. That's the player that we need him to be. If he gets 15 disposals a game, but he's racking up 4 clearances, or he's putting Smothers on, or he's putting Shepherds on, I'd love to see that. But at the moment, we're not seeing that. But he is one of those guys that needs, it's not that he should go up, he needs to go up one more level.
The stakes so high, ball throws it on the boots, and like Swan before.
So over on Instagram, I asked you guys, who do you think will be taking their game to the next level in 2022? And here are some of your responses. Nat_Dixon says, Ollie Henry. Ollie Henry was so close to being in this list as well. He can be anything. I keep saying that, but 186 or so centimeters, I think that's changed a little bit. He's not tall enough to be a full forward, but if he can pinch, 2 or 3 goals every couple of games, that's huge. Or kick a goal a game, pinch 2 or 3, like he kicked 3 against Carlton. That would be absolutely dope. Slaystars_Dom said Isaac Quaynor. Again, I love this. I love IQ so much, or Einstein as I like to call him. He was going to be in this list as well. I do think he's going to take his game to the next level. I agree with that. Tom Tocado_0303 says Tyler Brown. I've had Callum Brown in here. Tyler Brown. Yeah, there was talks of him being like who was it that said he had Nat Fyfe like abilities. Obviously, when you put these names on kids, that's huge, right? That's so much pressure. Tyler Brown is Tyler Brown, and I think he's better placed than Callum was at his age as well. So I think, Tyler could be on the incline. I would love to see that. Benny Antonis says Trey Rusco, the king. Trey Rusco, he kind of moved to half back and sort of back pockets towards the end of last season. Reinvented himself. I thought he wasn't going to be on the list this season because he just wasn't cracking it in the forward line. He's reinvented himself as a defender. If he stays there, Justin Lepage is going to work wonders with him. And Adam_Erden says Johnny Noble. Johnny Noble's another one of those guys where you either really like him or you don't like him. I think Johnny Noble just needs to work on his disposal a little bit, just that accuracy, and Fly will definitely help him out with that. I think he moves up to the wing. He can move down back as a halfbacker as well. Maybe they use him on the wing. Maybe they don't because of Lipper and Poulter as well that we're trying to use on the wing. But look, it's so hard because like to talk about where players are going to be playing because we haven't seen Fly and this coaching panel in action. So the preseason game is going to be very interesting. So anyway, guys, that has been my top 5 players who I think will take their game to the next level. Thank you for all your submissions over on Instagram as well. If you want to be a part of that, of course, follow me on Instagram. Leave your comments down below, 1 to 5, who you think will take their game to the next level. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd always love to find out. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, Double Shackers, I'll swoop you all later.